What's up, everybody? This is Kingdom Shader 13, aka Chris, and welcome to another Kingdom Hearts discussion video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about remaining Kingdom Hearts 3 Disney Worlds. One of the most fun things to do about when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, besides the story, characters, and all that, is talking about what Disney Worlds is going to be. And it's been so fun to do over the years. But sadly, we're coming to the end of that because Kingdom Hearts 3 is relatively right around the corner, coming out July of 2019. And we got Tokyo Game Show coming up. And more than likely, I think we're going to get another Disney World reveal there coming up. And right now for Kingdom Hearts 3, we have 7 Disney Worlds confirmed, revealed to be in the game. That would be Olympus, Kingdom of Corona, Toy Box, Monstropolis, Arendelle, the Caribbean, and San Francisco Big Hero 6, which has yet to be fully shown, but we know that's going to be a world in the game. And so realistically, we know that Kingdom Hearts 3 likely has about 3 Disney Worlds left, at max 4, because we know this is going to have less Disney Worlds than KH2, which had 12, and right now we're at 7. So I think we can expect 3 more Disney Worlds. I think 4 is pushing it a little much. 3, I think, is a nice safe bet for how much we have left. So, but as always, that gets us thinking, what are those worlds going to be? What do we have to look forward to? What can we expect? So as I did last year, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what I think the remaining Disney worlds are going to be. Now, in last year's video I did this video after we got the Toy Story reveal, because that's when we found out there's going to be less Disney Worlds in KH2. And in that video, just to talk about it real quick, these were the worlds that I thought were going to be the most likely. The top 5 were the most likely worlds that I thought were actually going to be in the game, and the 3 at the bottom were sort of honorable mentions I have. Now, I obviously got the Frozen reveal right, which that's not a huge big a deal. I think everyone knew that Frozen was going to be in the game. But one of my honorable mentions actually got in, which was Pirates of the Caribbean being in the game, which I was really happy about that, because that's a world I really wanted to see in the game, but I just didn't think would make it. But I thought was still likely because it was in KH2. But yeah, so we have Frozen and Pirates of the Caribbean Port Royal returning, coming in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I got that right. To talk about some stuff from that list from last year, Wreck-It Ralph is likely not going to be a world now because he is a summon. So I just don't think I don't think we're going to see his world if he's already being shown being a summon early in the game. Treasure Planet likely out because of the inclusion, the return of Pirates of the Caribbean, 2 pirate worlds. Don't really see that happening. And yeah, that's pretty much the 2 main ones I want to cancel out from this list. We'll talk about some others that are on this list from last year coming up. But let's start by talking about some honorable mentions before I go into what I think are the 3 most likely Disney Worlds coming up. A couple of honorable mentions that I want to throw out there are the Jungle Book and Wall-E. These are 2 worlds I could see in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I don't think are as likely as some of the ones I'm going to be talking about coming up. The Jungle Book, as we all know, that's a world that they've been trying to put in since Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's really sort of funny the attempts that they've made over and over to put it in the games. We saw its most infamous attempt was them trying to put it in Birth by Sleep, which you can see actual, the world in the game's code, sort of like stuff like King Louie's Palace and all that. So we all know the story behind Jungle Book being Kingdom Hearts. I don't think it's as likely, though, just because I don't think there's a whole lot that would make this world to be a really fun, exciting world in Kingdom Hearts 3, and not a whole lot to make it really story relevant. But because they've tried so much, I could see it still being in there. And Wall-E, because obviously now that they've got Pixar, they're taking full advantage of it by having Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. And I think the next most likely Disney world to be in the game, our Pixar world, would be Wall-E, because Incredibles I don't see happening because of Big Hero 6 already being in there. And some of the other Pixar worlds, I just don't think the timing's right for Kingdom Hearts 3. Wall-E would be a unique world. You could have like the whole spaceship thing. That would be unique. You could even have some stuff on Earth, that sort of dystopia Earth that would be there. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't think it's super likely to be in the game. But I think because they are using Pixar now, this would be the most likely Pixar world after Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. So with those 2 out of the way, let's go on to what I think are going to be the 3 remaining Disney worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, the first 2 on this list, I'm fairly certain about. The last one on this list, it's sort of a tie between the 2, and I'll go into a tiebreaker after I discuss those 2. But the one that I think is going to be in the game is, let's start off at number 1, is the return of the 100 Acre Woods. Now, this is going to be a minor spoiler for people who don't like leaks and that kind of information. But last December, what came about with the Monsters Inc. leak was the whole thing of they found 100 Acre Wood is going to be in the game, areas like 100 Acre Wood locations and whatnot. And it sort of makes sense for 100 Acre Wood to be in the game. I mean, if we're going into Radiant Guardian, it doesn't make much sense why we wouldn't go back into 100 Acre Woods. I mean, it's a cute little world. It's fine. Sora had a good connection with all those characters, Pooh Bear and all that stuff. I will say I wouldn't mind if they did something different besides making it a mini game world again. If you've seen the fan trailer someone did for 100 Acre Wood in Kingdom Hearts 3 recently, they made it to where it was actually a world heartless. And I gotta admit, I absolutely love that trailer. I doubt they would go with that kind of idea, but if they could do something different with 100 Acre Woods besides collecting all the torn pages again, I really hope we don't do that. Then that would be cool. Likely, it's going to be based on that Winnie the Pooh movie that came out in 2011. Or I could even see them maybe using like the Tigger movie or something like that. Because Pooh's got a whole lot of movies. They don't just have to use that original movie that just came out. He's got a ton of stuff. So 100 Acre Woods, because of that leak, I do think is going to be in the game. The next role that I think is very likely to be in the game is the Princess and the Frog. Now, the whole reason behind this is because of the new Seven Princess of Heart theory that's come out. Ever since we saw Larxene mentioned in that trailer from a couple months ago, they're looking for new Princesses of Heart. To me, it's almost a lock that Tiana is going to be one of them because she's one that obviously was not one of the original Princesses of Heart. She's a princess from a recent Disney movie. It's a movie that was very well received. Even though it wasn't as big a hit as Tangled or Frozen, it still was the movie that started sort of this new wave of Disney movies where they got back to making like some really good stuff. And of course, you got Dr. Facilier. Everyone's been wanting to fight him as a boss. He's just one of those bosses, those Disney villains that you're like, oh man, that'd make for just a kick-ass boss battle. So I can see that. And the whole thing was being set during New Orleans, that whole time period. I think you can make it look pretty cool. The whole city, especially during the end of the movie when you had the whole parade and stuff like that. That'd be really good. Maybe the swamp, Mama Odie's location, all that stuff. It could make for a really good world. And because of the whole Princess of Heart connection with Tiana, you can make it very story relevant. So Princess and the Frog, that's one that I'm fairly confident is going to be one of the remaining worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, these last two, the spot that's up for grabs, that last spot, it's sort of a toss up between two worlds, and I'll go into what I think will be the one that will make it into the game. So, the first world that's up for that final spot is the return of Agrabah. Now, Agrabah has obviously been in Kingdom Hearts games before. In fact, it's just a step below Olympus Coliseum when it comes to the Disney World that's been in the most Kingdom Hearts games. It's been in every game Olympus Coliseum has been in, besides Birth by Sleep. And I think it would be sort of a missed opportunity not to have it in Kingdom Hearts 3. Just because they did the first Aladdin movie in Kingdom Hearts 1, they did Return of Jafar in Kingdom Hearts 2. It just makes sense to do the third one, the third Aladdin movie, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, in Kingdom Hearts 3. You could wrap up the Aladdin saga, if you will, with Sora saga in Kingdom Hearts 3. It would tie things together very nicely. You could have Aladdin and Jasmine's wedding. And the thing is, we a lot of the elements have been repeated from Agrabah in Kingdom Hearts games. We're sort of doing the same thing over and over again. The good thing about Aladdin and the King of Thieves is that it's a completely different plot. There's no Jafar, there's no Cave of Wonders, none of that stuff. So you could have all new locations, an all new story. I mean, think about it. We still haven't even gone into the palace yet. But besides that, going into the den of the thieves, that cave of thieves where their hideout is, the vanishing isle that's in the middle of the ocean, all of that stuff would be really cool. And a few plot points here and there that you could make story relevant for the larger scheme of Kingdom Hearts 3. So because of all those elements, I think Agrabah is one of those worlds that is up for that final spot. And the final world that is up for that final spot, I would say, is Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Yeah, this is one of those worlds that people have wanted to see in Kingdom Hearts 3. You see it on a ton of like most desires lists along with Treasure Planet. Though as I mentioned earlier in this video, I think Treasure Planet is likely out because of Pirates of the Caribbean. And potentially Atlantis could be out because of Pirates of the Caribbean, because the whole thing about Atlantis, its main sort of gimmick, if you will, its visual design, is that water element, water all around. There's lots of stuff in that movie where they're swimming underwater. And we sort of have that dynamic that we've seen in that last Kingdom Hearts Pirates of the Caribbean trailer, where Sora's going underwater combat. I don't know if they would want to repeat that again, but to me, there's enough elements about Atlantis, the Lost Empire, that would differentiate itself from Port Royal. Mainly the aesthetics, the designs, all that stuff, your party members, obviously, the story. A bunch of that stuff would make it feel different than the Caribbean would. So that's why I still think it's got a good chance of appearing, way more so than Treasure Planet at this point. And yeah, I think the story of this movie, sort of the whole thing about the dynamic of the heart of a world, if you've seen the movie before, would play perfectly into the plot of a Kingdom Hearts world, if you will. That would just be like some genius stuff right there. You could tie that in really easily. And the locations and whatnot. You just look at some of the still images of this movie. It would just look just so damn good. But me personally, I've never been a huge advocate for this to be a world in Kingdom Hearts 3, mainly because I'm just not all that big a fan of the movie. I think it's honestly just kind of, some cool stuff here and there, but I've never been like super into it, if you know what I mean. That's why I've never had that burning desire to see it in Kingdom Hearts 3, even though I do think there would be a lot of elements that would make for a cool Kingdom Hearts world. So yeah, Agrabah and Atlantis are those two worlds that are up for that final spot. If I had to choose one, oh God, personally, I think I'd rather see Agrabah, just because I think this would be the last and best chance to have Agrabah in the Kingdom Hearts game. You know, if you're concluding Sora's saga in Kingdom Hearts 3, the whole Xehanort saga, and if you already used the previous movies in the game, I think you want to close things out, have Agrabah in Kingdom Hearts 3, then we can never have it in another Kingdom Hearts game along with Olympus, because those stories hopefully will be done. The thing is, though, there would still be room for Atlantis to appear. Sort of the thing I've been questioning is that, does 100 Acre Woods count towards that Disney total of Kingdom Hearts worlds? Only because it's sort of a mini game world. It's not a full world. So maybe there's the chance they could have Atlantis appear if 100 Acre Woods isn't a world that's going to take up a whole lot of space. Maybe it could still appear. But for now, I think we're going to get the three worlds that I will say are 100 Acre Wood, Princess and the Frog, and Agrabah. So yeah, that's my list right there. Always fun to come up with Kingdom Hearts 3 Disney Worlds list. To be honest, I think I've done a pretty decent job at predicting. I did a concept piece last year for what I thought the worlds were going to be, and I've gotten a bunch of them right. I got Hercules right. I got Tangled right. I got Frozen right. And I got Pirates of the Caribbean right, which I don't think a lot of people saw Pirates of the Caribbean coming. But hey, I got it right there. And yeah, I think I'm fairly confident in the three worlds that I have coming up. For Tokyo Game Show, I think they're going to reveal Big Hero 6. Makes perfect sense. San Francisco, Tokyo Game Show. It's too good. And I think along with that, we'll get the reveal of 100 Acre Wood because of those leaks from last year. I hope they just go out the way, confirm it, and yeah. Then after that, I think we'll get the final world reveals at Jump Festa with Princess and the Frog and Agrabah, or whatever that other world's going to be. So yeah, that's it for this Kingdom Hearts discussion video. Hope y'all enjoyed this vid. Leave your comments and tell me what you think the final three world reveals are going to be, and I'll see y'all around with another video.